Hey everyone. Hello. I'm gonna wait for if anybody jumps in. So this is gonna be every Tuesday, Thursday, and I'm covering this book. I believe it's an amazing book, and yeah, to be honest, the reason I believe this book is amazing, any book would work, to be honest. This book is very detailed and it works well. But the reason I say these things are important is because if you're not moving forward in life, you tend to have anxiety because you're not sure about what to do and how to move forward. And then you may even reflect on the past, which will lead to depression, right? So really, I want everyone to just be on a journey of development if that's what they want. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. I just want to share some good stuff that I've encountered that I think that could really benefit you. And I've been personally developing for a few years, and my life is transitioning, and I'm very grateful for everything that I have. And to be honest, that's the number one tip, is just be thankful for what you have. So yesterday, I'm going to go over what we started yesterday. So if anybody's tuning in, they could always learn about it. I'm going to post this as well. It'll also be on YouTube. So we're reading Atomic Habits. And yesterday we reviewed habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, just getting 1% better a day. And it could be a double-edged sword. If you choose to do the right things or the wrong things, put in good or bad habits, it's going to depend and dictate the direction in which you go. So you got to be very mindful, right? So I would say you want to be mindful of that. And you know, just the atomic habits, your small habits add up to the bigger system and the results you'll actually get. So you want to be mindful of what you're doing, because that's going to lead you to the results you have in life. Even if it's just like, oh, I'll sit down for 15 minutes and scroll, or, you know, I'll watch a little bit of TV. Those things add up and they compound. You know, and, you know, saying, oh, I'll take 15 minutes of doing some push-ups and squats or whatever you want to do, right? So it really depends, and that's going to change your life, because I just implemented some simple routines since the beginning of August, and I'm already down 11 to 12 pounds because I gained a lot of weight while my wife was pregnant. So it's pretty cool, right? Just having good habits. So how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. So this is a very great picture. If you look, outcomes, then processes, then identity is in the center. And it's different ways of living. So people are sometimes outcome focused, they're outcome based habits, and some people are identity based habits. So the biggest thing we want to work on is changing our identity, who we are, the narrative, right? Because whatever we say we are and who we're going to be, and the story we tell ourselves is going to be our outcomes. So if we want better outcomes, we got to be very mindful of that, right? That's Queen's, that somebody put on their car outside. I should have closed the window. But I'm going to jump into this. So the three different layers, I'm going to describe them. The first layer is changing your outcomes. The level is concerned with changing your results, losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship. Most of your goals you set are associated with this level of change. So I just started off with actually saying I lost 12 pounds, but I had changed my identity, and I realized I am a fit person, and that's who I'm working to be. So I just changed my identity. The second layer is the process, your process. So this level is concerned with your habits and systems, implementing a new routine, decluttering, develop a meditation practice, whatever habits you need to get those results, those systems, those processes, what we talked about in the first one, right? And then the third and deepest layer is changing your identity. So this level is concerned with changing your beliefs, your worldview, your self-image, and your judgments about yourself and others. So most of our beliefs are assumptions and are held with associations of this level. So we really got to be willing to change our beliefs and what we've been thinking our whole life to manifest different results. How many of us think we could be business owners? How many ever thought of that? How many of us thought of being a man or a woman or a parent? right? Like, and really accepting that. So I would say that that's a big thing. So I'm gonna start it off here. So I really want to talk about why identity is so important and so vital, right? I think identity is one of the most important things, but sometimes we approach them in a manner that doesn't serve us. So the identity, the beliefs that drive our actions, they never shift the way we look at ourselves. They hold on to their old identity and can sabotage your new plans for changes. So we really got to work on that identity. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And work into becoming that person. So define yourself. What identity do you want to have? Do you want to be, I'm a lazy person, I'm a procrastinator, oh, I'm not ambitious? Or do you want to say, I'm a go-getter, I'm efficient, I work hard, I'm focused, I'm fit? You know, and just really change the identity for yourself. You want more money, but if your identity is someone who consumes rather than creates, you'll continue to be pulled towards spending rather than earning. Right? I thought that was pretty cool. So this all relates back to identity. You may want to better your health, but if you continue to prioritize comfort over accomplishment, you'll be drawn to relaxing than training. Right? And just these little beliefs and understanding who you are is going to dictate your habits, your processes, and your outcomes. Right? So you got to decide who do you want to be. I'm just going to give some examples about long-term and short-term changes. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. All right? To be honest, I read because I wanted to fulfill a checklist off my self and some habits that I have. But now I love to read. And I'm a kind of guy that I didn't even read till I really got in college. I skimmed through the chapter reports. Right? So I love to read because of who it's helping me become and the identity that I want. The goal is not to run a marathon, but to become a runner. I trained myself to run. I ran up to 6 to 18 miles. Ran 13 miles straight with my wife. And she's running every morning, so God bless her. I just been really getting into fitness, calisthenics. One of my really fit friends said, do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, so ab workouts, and 100 squats. So I've been really focusing on that. The goal is not to learn an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. So just different mindsets, right? I'm not really going to harp on that. But you really want to change your identity and don't fall into those habits. Your habits embody your identity, like I was saying before. If you make up your bed, you're an organized person. If you write each day, you become a creative person. If you train each day, you're an athletic person. All right, so progress requires unlearning. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and upgrade and expand your identity. You really got to work on that. You really have to uncover. Because you have such psychological programming that's really deep inside there. For years, you've been repeating the same thing for yourself. So we really have to work on changing our beliefs. What I did was I actually wrote down a whole bunch of stuff on a sheet, and I used to read it every day in big black permanent marker on white sheets, and I would paste it up all over my room and read it continuously to really change my mind. On any given day, you may struggle with your habits because you're too busy or too tired or too overwhelmed or hundreds of other reasons. Over the long run, however, the real reason you fail to stick with habits is that your self-image gets in the way. So again, comes back to identity. I feel like identity is the most important thing in your transition to changing. And the effect of one experience tends to fade away while the effects of habits get reinforced with time. So which means your habits contribute most of your evidence that shapes your identity. So a lot of people, they get into motivation and all these things, and they get excited, but then they just fall off, right? Because they didn't change their identity. And what they really didn't, so once they change their identity, they would create those processes and those systems to then follow through and then create the life they want and have the outcomes they want. A lot of people start businesses. A lot of people start, writing books. And some people finish their books and won't process it. A lot of people do a lot of different things. They start a workout routine, but they didn't change their identity, so they didn't apply the processes to then have that outcome. Right? It's really about just pushing forward, no matter if you feel like it or not. And I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. Please don't think that's what I'm saying, because I still work every day to follow through, like even getting up a little early. I should say I'm an early riser. That should be part of my identity, right? And so I work on it too. Every action you take, it is a vote for the type of person you wish to be. Wow. Every action you take is a vote. What are you voting for yourself? Are you voting yourself to be a lazy person? Or you're voting yourself to be a motivated, hard-working person? Right? Or a smart working person. Right? So each habit gets results. Trust yourself. And remember, if it's difficult for you to incorporate a habit, just start with the habit for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Say you want to go to the gym. He talks about, go to the gym for 5 minutes. This guy did that. And he started working out and lost 100 pounds in 3 years, because he continuously just kept working out, because he built those habits. So I'm going to end it off around here. And there's a 2-step process. Decide the type of person you want to be and prove it to yourself with small wins. So decide, who do you want to be? And then take little action steps. So if you want to be a fit person, what do you have to do? Work out 5 times a week, 3 times a week for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Progress, right? Don't just jump into something and not do it. Some people I want to read, so they'll read an hour a day and then they won't continually read throughout the week. Your daily habits dictate who you become. And I think John Maxwell said that. So you really want to focus on growing yourself. Don't rush. It's the process. Things will change. But don't let things get too easy either, because then you won't continually do it. You want things to be a little challenging, but not too challenging where you stop. And track yourself. See the results you have. What motivated me to keep intermittent fasting was when I saw I lost 10 pounds. And when I was going on and off and doing whatever for like a day or 2 or 3, I saw wow, I could really lose another 10 pounds. Let me just stick with this. And because I saw the results, it reinforced my identity to be fit and then stick with my processes and follow through. Right? So your votes, that's your votes, right? So you really, that's where I'm going to end it off, because I could keep talking. This book has so many good examples. And focus on what you want. What's your identity? You want certain outcomes, but who do you have to be to have those outcomes? If you want to be a successful business owner, what do you have to do? You have to be organized. Some people will say no. Me, I feel like you live by your schedule, right? So whatever. For me, if I wanted to be a successful business owner, what I would say to myself is I want to be organized. I want to be effective. I want to reflect. I want to have a good life. I want to be a well-rounded person, take care of my health along that journey, and whatever it may be. And so I will have to create little habits. So I journal. I schedule myself every night. And I do little things that reinforce that I'm going to have a successful life because of God's blessings, because of the association that I have. And really, that's another thing. Check your identity and check your association. Who are you hanging out with? That's part of your identity. Do you want to become that person? And the grass is not really always green on the other side. It's really, they say it's where you water it. It's how you treat your grass. So how are you treating your grass? Are you taking care of it? Are you taking care of your life? Right, so I love you guys. Excited to go on this journey. So next Tuesday, I'll hit up with the next chapter. That was chapter 2. I look forward to connecting. Take care.